Hello, I'm Rick Anthony, and this is Someone You Should Know. It's the weekly music show spotlighting new music and musicians. In the year and a half that I've been doing Someone You Should Know, I've been dying to get a chance to talk to this week's guest, and I finally have the opportunity. He had a top 5 hit back in 1998 with the ballad I'll Be. He's Edwin McCain, and he's got a brand new CD that basically is a statement about his music. He's far from over, and he's my special guest this week on Someone You Should Know.
Well, this light turns down before me. The highway shimmering with stars. The knowing glances of the runaways that never made it this far. I can't believe you said that we can work it out. I thought that we were near the end. Gone are the days, oh, the trouble and the doubt. This is far from over, my friend.
That's Far From Over, the title cut from the 4th CD from South Carolina's very own Edwin McCain. Edwin, welcome to Someone You Should Know.
Thank you very much.
Man, I followed your music for several years, and I'm continually impressed with your ability to create such good music. I have hundreds of musical acts, Edwin, vying for this show, which means I have hundreds of CDs to listen to, and I have to admit, and I want to stroke you too early in the interview, but man, this CD is one of my favorites. How did this all happen?
Well, you know, it's been kind of a growing process. I mean, I think I've been really lucky in that because of our background in touring and our work ethic as far as staying on the road, that I've really had the ability to develop in a normal way as far as songwriting and performing. And it's been almost 11 years of touring, and I think that this album, Far From Over, is more of a testament to the process and what we've learned over the years, and much more representative of our band as musicians and me as a songwriter than a lot of the albums in the past have been a little bit more involved in production.
Now, how old were you when you first picked up a musical instrument?
I was 10. You know, my uncle gave me an old Epiphone acoustic, and it was hard to play. And I was really turned on early into people like David Wilcox and James Taylor and Jim Croce and a lot of the songwriters. And I just really fell in love with the idea of poetry as music. But then on the flip side of that, I was listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire and Motown and a lot of the Wilson Pickett and Bobby Blue Bland and a lot of the music that was much more rhythmic. So, you know, somewhere in between wanting to be a singer-songwriter and wanting to be Maurice White, if I found myself.
Yeah, you'd have to have all the special outfits if you were to be a part of Earth, Wind, and Fire, right?
I know. I was so upset that I could never be in Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Far From Over is your 4th CD. Where's it available at?
It's your favorite record store anywhere.
All right. The new single from it is a song that you had a little help from your old buddy Shaun Colvin, Grammy winner.
Colvin,
yeah?
Yes. She actually sang on a couple of the songs for this record. We were talking about female voices to use, and Shaun's name came up, and it just so happened that we were in Austin recording, which is where she lives. So it was working out on many levels. And she was really sweet about doing it, too. And then it was the day after her birthday party, and so she came over and was really kind and spent her day with us.
Tell me a little bit about Write Me the Song. What's it all about?
It's kind of about how many girls have come my way over the years, and you know, the first thing, when they find out I'm a songwriter, or if they already know who I am, they'll, you know, always come running up and say, you know, you should write a song about me.
Real good. Well, the CD's called Far From Over, and from it, here's Edwin McCain and Write Me a Song.
Kelly is raising her son. His dad left just after the birth. Now she's living on child support checks. I guess that's all that man was worth. She says, I just need a man who will love me, but they all just want one night of sin. I know my life could be better
beautiful tune called Write Me a Song from Edwin McCain. Edwin's my guest this week on Someone You Should Know. As always, I'm Rick Anthony. The title of the song is quite appropriate because you wrote or co-wrote all the songs on Far From Over. And now is a good time to kind of give us a glimpse of the fine group of musicians you have backing you up. Edwin, who's in your band?
The first word I can use to describe this band is really family. Just stick together and just have such a good time playing together, and it's never really any arguments. And we're all of the same mindset where we're real open to musical ideas, and it keeps it exciting for us. Well, the oldest surviving member of this band is our musical director, Craig Shields. He actually was one of the first members of the band. We've been playing together. We started out just solo acoustic with a percussionist and Craig playing saxophones and keyboards, and then over the years we put the band together, which includes Dave Harrison, a childhood friend of Craig's from Morgantown, West Virginia, and Scott Benevich, who is on bass, who I've known for years from the Charleston music scene, and Larry Cheney, who we were fortunate enough to meet in Nashville. We've since picked up Pete Riley from a band called Treehouse, who's playing electric guitar, as well as Larry playing electric guitar.
Many of your songs have a rich orchestral feel, and I was amazed to find out that those sounds came from Craig Shields with an instrument he plays called a wind controller. What the heck?
Wind controller.
What is that?
It's a MIDI instrument. It functions similarly to a saxophone as far as the keys, and it's basically a MIDI wind instrument, and it can play any sounds that are programmable onto a keyboard. So primarily wind instruments, strings. I mean, it used to be way back in the day he even played drums on the thing, so it was pretty cool. We've done a lot of different things with it.
One of your songs from the last couple albums that I've loved was Could Not Ask for More, which is a Diane Warren song.
Right.
I heard you do that in concert. I was just totally blown away by the fact that he's blowing into it. I mean, where's the strings at? You know?
Right. And it's a lot. I mean, obviously, it's a lot more economical for us to have a wind controller than it is to have an orchestra.
No kidding. Edwin, of all your new songs, when I caught you in concert, the one that really had the women swooning was the song we're going to play next, a song called A Letter to My Mother. Can you tell us about this one?
Right, this is a song. I mean, this song is basically about me being adopted. I was adopted real early, and just got really lucky. My family is wonderful, and I've just really been blessed to be a part of it, and they've just been really great to me. And my mom now, one night we were casually talking about how great it's been, my career, and she said, wouldn't it be great to meet your real mother? And we talked about it for a while, and so I never really felt like I wanted to do that, and I figured the best way to maybe send it out there is to write the song. And so it's just basically a letter to my birth mother, just saying thank you and I love you, and just throwing it out into the universe, and hopefully she'll hear it.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to play it right now from Far From Over. Here's Letter to My Mother.
Mother, how do I write the words to you? You were the only one who loved me true. But there's a woman that we don't even know. She gave me life, and then you gave me a home. I love you, Mama. Tell her to tell the little boy still loves you.
From Edwin McCain's new CD, Far From Over, that's probably my favorite on the CD, Letter to My Mother. Once again, Edwin, where's the CD available at?
Oh, all over. Sam Goody, Walmart's a real good place. Best Buy. You can buy it at any of your favorite record stores. And
a reminder, we got to tell everyone about Edwin.com. Tell us about your website.
Oh, our website, Edwin.com, has got our tour dates and music clips and interviews and bios, and we do ticket giveaways and stuff. We keep updates and keep up with us, and we'll let you know where we are and what we're doing.
You know, I could go on talking to you for another half hour, but I know we're kind of running out of time. I'd love to play a couple more tunes from Far From Over, but we're going to wrap up the show with a tune where you kind of poke fun at the big-headed stars of rock and roll. It's a tune called Radio Star. What's the story behind this one?
It's kind of, I think one of the things that I was making fun of in Radio Star, I was watching the Behind the Music on VH1. And one of the things that I thought was funny was that, you know, you got guys that are famous now and they have to dramatize their lives. You know, they always kind of have to make it seem dramatic, you know, the price of fame and whatnot. And I found that a little amusing. I mean, that someone in that situation that has a beautiful life gets to play music for a living can still find some way for it to be tragic. And they're kind of selling the whole thing. And, and I started laughing at the fact that, you know, everybody loves to hear the rock stars complaining, you know, and so I was like, well, let's make fun of that. So, and I'm making fun of me too. I mean, we all take this job so seriously, and the truth of the matter is, I mean, it's wonderful what we get to do, but it certainly isn't brain surgery. And my answer to them is whenever I see them complaining on TV is, you know, they can all go cry in a big bag of money.
No kidding. Edwin, thanks again for being my guest this week on Someone You Should Know.
Thank you.
As always, I thank you, the listeners, for tuning in. And, hey, do yourself a favor, regardless of what style of music you like, pick up a copy of Far From Over from this week's guest, Edwin McCain. And until we meet again next time, this is Rick Anthony.
I'll tell you my story on VH1 and all of my personal hell. And how my dad beat me and how much he drank. And think it'll help my record sell. 'Cause I'm the radio star with the cars and the clothes, the fancy guitars and the spoon in my nose. You know in my world now anything goes. You all wanna be me, and I'll be gone in a week. I'll hang out with Britney and Fred Durst, arrive in a limo, I leave in a hearse, and I can't decide now which part is worse, losing my life to the game